So it's rare that I'm in here the day after an NFL game because it's usually meet Fridays in the offseason. There was a game last night. It was the Broncos and the Raiders. And I got to tell you, if you guys missed it, congratulations. I am so happy for you if you did not watch last night's game. I don't know many people, I might not even know any, that love football more than me. That was bad. That was a bad game. And I can appreciate good defense. I'm fine with low-scoring games, but I don't know how much of that was good defense and how much of that was bad offense. To put it in perspective, I saw this stat somewhere. I forgot to write it down, so I don't know the exact stat. Whatever. You guys can Google it. That's what the internet's for. I think it might have been the first game since 1950 where both teams had more penalties than points. More penalties than points. I don't care how much you love the sport. That's a tough watch when there's more penalties than points. The Broncos end up winning 10-7 over the Raiders. So the Broncos are now 8-2. And I'm going to go on record right now and say that was the worst performance by a team getting their record to 8-2 in the history of the NFL. Has a team ever looked worse and played worse in pursuit of an 8-2 record, which they got? I got to start with Fritzy this morning. We'll get to all your calls. Fritzy, in all sincerity, how did you feel watching that game last night with your beloved Broncos, and how do you feel this morning now that you slept on it?
I watched every play as I do for all the Broncos. It was extremely frustrating. And I'm starting to think like they didn't get a first down till the middle of the second quarter. Their rookie punter, I don't know, any of us could have punted, but I don't know what he was doing, kicking it off the side of his foot, couldn't pin them inside the 20, kicks it into the end. It was terrible. And for a team to be, you're right, for a team to be 8-2, they're the number one seed in the AFC right now, to look like that offensively. Fans were booing, and rightfully so. They wait till the fourth quarter to score points, which didn't even happen last night. At least you'd think in the fourth quarter they'd wake up and get some points. They're not going to be able to let the defense, I know they got away with it in 2015 when Peyton was hurt and everything, but you can't wait until the fourth quarter to wake up offensively, and the defense is not going to be able to bail them out every week. You're not going to have 33-point fourth quarter games against the Giants, come back against the Super Bowl champs in Philadelphia in the fourth quarter. That's just not going to happen. You can't live like that.
So I guess the question is...
I got you there.
By the way, just in case anyone was wondering, that wasn't pre-recorded and then doubled in speed. That was Todd actually doing that live.
Hold on a second.
That was actually live.
So
that wasn't fast-forwarded.
I want everybody all on radio or TV to know this, okay? The guys have the ability. There's called talkback, okay? So I can press a button. You guys, if you watch Peacock, you've probably seen Dan do it before. He can press a button and talk to the guys. But also the guys can say something to me in my left ear. And while Fritzy was going, Paulie said in my left ear, if you don't stop him, he'll just keep going.
He's very right about that.
Completely true.
I cannot argue that at all.
I almost lost it.
Todd does not like punctuation.
All right, so
You don't understand what I was watching last night.
Todd, but Todd, you're on you know I'm a huge fan of you, right?
Yes.
Huge. You're on the biggest sports talk radio show in the country.
That is true.
Pauses, periods.
But that
I
I was too aggravated. I can't.
Punctuation is your friend.
Punctuation is your friend.
Punctuation is your friend, Todd.
I had to get that all
right,
out.
okay, I'm glad you did, but here's my question. By the way, you made some great points. We set a lot of records last night. That was also the greatest punter disparity. The guy for the Raiders is AJ Cole, must be the greatest punter twice. He has the ball hit on the one and then make a right turn and go 10 yards out of bounds. It's the craziest thing. AJ Cole was the best football player that I saw last night. AJ Cole and Max Crosby and Benito. But here's the crux of it, Todd. And I want to know what Paulie would think and Seton and Marv. Do you look at it and say, man, that was horrible. We're not good. I know we're 8-2, but we're not good. Or do you look at it and say, I don't care. We're 8-2. I don't care how it looks. We're 8-2. You guys can kiss my you-know-what.
For me, it's much more the former than the latter because I know what they have defensively, and I keep waiting for the offense to prove they can hold up their end of the bargain and be a deep playoff run team. And their record is very deceiving. On one hand, they could have beat the Colts and Chargers on those last-second field goals. They could have been 9-1 or 10-0. But my son reminds me some of those games that they just pulled out could have gone the other way. They could be a 4-6 team right now just as easily. So I don't know what we're getting yet offensively with this team.
All right, so I feel like you guys know I grew up outside of Philadelphia. Okay, so all my buddies and family and friends, they're diehard Eagles fans. So I'm on the text chain during every Eagles game. And it feels like people are like, after a game like that, there's really one of two ways you can go. This team stinks. I don't care that they won. They're still not good. That was pathetic. Or I don't give a you-know-what. We won. That's all that matters. I feel like my friends, they go one of two ways. Paulie, which way are you, which way would you be?
See, I'm more of a middle ground guy. I try to be level-headed. But I think a lot of people didn't see the Broncos play this year until last night because they play at 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and you mix it in with the red zone. But last night, standalone, if you look at them last night, they did not look like a threatening team. And I thought 3 weeks ago, this is a really interesting team, really good pass rush. But then you look at their schedule this year, they have one quality win. They beat the Eagles by 4. Otherwise, their wins are against the Titans, the Jets, the Giants, the Cowboys, the Texans, and the Raiders. So it's like a false 8-2. You feel good at the position of your team.
I don't believe in that, by the way.
Well,
it's an NFL team.
Yeah.
They're playing other NFL teams. I'll say this from a former player's perspective. You never have to apologize for a win. And in fact, I would argue it's a really good sign when you win, even though you played like crap. If you win an NFL game, even though you played like crap, you're probably pretty good. It's hard to win these games. Ask the Saints. Ask the Titans. Ask the Jets. It's hard to win NFL football games. If you're able to win when you look that bad, that's a good sign. Seton?
I think if you look at, say, a team like the Chiefs last year, I don't know exactly how many one-score games
they won 15 in a row.
But it was a lot of them, and they took that all the way to the Super Bowl. So now, granted, I know the Chiefs are the Chiefs and the Broncos are the Broncos, and there's history that we have to look at, but there's something to be said. Are you barely winning in a good way, or are you barely winning in a bad way? Are you barely getting wins to advance and see, we do just enough to keep winning, or you could be on the flip side, obviously, that and keep losing. But I think that there's a lane for teams who keep winning close games to advance, and that if at 8-2, maybe the Broncos could be that this year.
So what's crazy about that is that the Chiefs had the NFL's longest streak ever of winning 15 straight one-score games. Guess what they are in one-score games this year? 0-4. Those things have a way of kind of evening themselves out. Although, listen, to Fritzie's point, the Broncos play the Chiefs next Sunday. I would be stunned if the Chiefs aren't favored in that game. I'd be stunned. Go ahead, Paulie.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Records and belief in a team are two different things. If I had to say pick the team that's going to go the furthest this year in the AFC West, Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs, it's close, right? Right now, because the Chiefs are...
Who's not saying Chiefs? Really?
Well, I
Go
have
ahead, Seton.
my I don't know, May or June prediction. I don't remember exactly what it was the Chiefs aren't making the playoffs this year. So I have to stick with that.
It was scalding hot at the time.
Okay. Well,
Currently
I'll just
still,
tell
I
you
think.
right now, I would absolutely take the Chiefs out of those three teams to go the furthest in the playoffs. Absolutely. However, the Broncos have a real chance here to win the division and to greatly increase the degree of difficulty for the Chiefs to get back to the Super Bowl. Yes, they can win 3 road playoff games, but if the Broncos can win that division, they're actually doing the Bills and the Ravens and a bunch of these teams a huge favor. I think the first question is more or less this. Is there any such thing as a bad win? Go ahead, Marv.
Not in the NFL. I think in college there could be, but in the NFL, a win is a win. You're playing against, like you said earlier, you're playing against other NFL players. You'll take the win any way you can get it.
Go ahead. Paulie?
I'm agreeing with Marvin. I'm a Bears fan, and the Bears beat the Bengals by a hair last week, 47-42. Their defense was awful. They made Joe Flacco look like he was in his 20s. They got beat all game. Their special teams were awful. That was an awful performance by the Bears. The offense was good, but they stole a win. And you're like, it's like the deodorant of a bad performance.